Ikaw, Nick, anong number mo ng AGAP? We also have Congressman Nick Briones of Party List AGAP, number 117. Before we proceed with our meeting, may I request the committee secretary to administer the oath to our resource persons, those who haven't taken their oath before. TJ, I think, Gillian, you haven't taken your oath.
The resource persons are requested to stand up and raise your right hand.
Tatlo lang, pati si Albano and Estrada.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in this joint committee hearing of the Committee on Murang Pagkain? Thank you. Please take your seats.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair. Thank you, sir.
We are blessed today, this meeting, to enlighten us with this primordial and existential problem of our nation. We have in our presence one of the guys whom I thought would be the first Secretary of the Department of Water, but at this point he is still the Administrator of National Irrigation Administration. So may we call on Administrator Gillian for his presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Morning po, honorable members of this committee. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat, fellow public servants. Good morning po. Merong ano. Pwede nga. Alright. Bigyan po namin kayo ng mixing overview ng ating rice sufficiency program sa NIA. Pwede pong sa PowerPoint. Anyway, lagi pong tinatanong sa atin kung tayo may nakakausap na ano ba talaga ang problema ng agrikultura sa ating bansa? Ano ba ang main problem? Well, sa side po ng NIA, at tingin ko nag-agree naman po tayo lahat doon, ay itong productivity. Mababa po talaga ang productivity ng ating agrikultura. So, ang isang key kasi dyan para mataas natin ang ating productivity level is of course, very obvious, irrigation. So, kailangan natin ng irrigation facilities. Now, dito po sa nakaraang SONA ng ating Pangulo, nabanggit po niya na tayo ay nag-import ng around 3 million metric tons na bigas. That would mean around 6 million metric tons na palay. At kung titignan mo po, halimbawa, nasa 5 metric tons per hectare ang ating productivity, ang ating production, ang ating yield, ay kakailanganin natin ng 1.2 million hectares na bagong tataniman natin ng palay para po ma-attain natin yung ating rice sufficiency. 1.2 million hectares. So, tanong ngayon, ano ba ang status ng irrigation natin sa buong Pilipinas? Ang NIA assisted irrigation facilities po ay umabot ng 1.7 million hectares. 1.7 million. Pero ang natataniman lamang po ng NIA, ang aming program area lamang po ay nasa 1.2 million hectares. Ano ang nangyari sa 500,000 hectares? Yun pong 200,000 hectares, around 200,000, ay na-convert na po. So ang ating firm up service area, o yung pwede na lang nating taniman, ay 1.5 million hectares. Eh bakit 1.2 lang ang napapataniman po ng NIA? Yan ang tanong, ano po. Well, doon po kasi sa 300,000 na gap, ang 150,000 hectares dito ay nangangailangan po ng repair or restoration. Sira yung ating mga facilities. Ito namang another 150,000 hectares, although wala pong sira ang ating irigasyon, dahil silted na ang lahat ng ilog sa buong Pilipinas, ay kinukulang po ng patubig doon sa tail end ng ating irrigation system. Around 150,000 hectares po yan. Ano po. Now, kung tatanungin nyo kami, paano ba natin ito maremedyohan ng madalian o mas mabilis? Doon po sa 300,000 na pinag-uusapan po natin, yung 150,000 hectares na for restoration and repair, aabutin po kami diyan ng 1 hanggang 3 taon para po ma-restore. At ang irrigation, ang cost natin pagka ni-repair natin yung mga yon ay nasa 500,000 pesos per hectare. Mas mababa po kaysa magtayo tayo. Kasi kung magtayo tayo ng bagong irrigation facility, aabot po tayo ng average of 1.2 million pesos per hectare. So, dapat yun ang isang priority natin. No? Pero tandaan natin, aabutin ng 1 to 3 years yan. Ano naman po itong 150,000 hectares na kulang ng patubig? Ito po yung low-lying fruit natin. Ito po yung madali nating gawa ng paraan. Kasi ang pwede ho natin gawin doon, pwede magtayo kasi ng NIA doon, maglagay kami ng mga solar pump irrigation facilities, ano ho? At ilalagay lang namin yung solar panel doon sa taas ng kanal, katulad nung na-inaugurate ng ating Pangulo sa Isabela last year. And then, ipapump na po natin yung tubig. At mura po yun, ano? Kasi ang average lamang po noon ay nasa 250,000 to 350,000 pesos per hectare, kung yun ang ating gawan ng paraan. Ano po? At ang maganda pa po doon, mga 3 months to 1 year lamang ang aming kailangan para ito ay mapatapos. Kaya malaki ho ang pasasalamat namin sa Congress kasi simula po last year, nang kinausap ko po si Speaker Romualdez at si Appropriations Chairman Saldico at ipiniliwanag ko po ang situation ng NIA at naintindihan naman nila kaagad. Kaya po malaking pasasalamat namin itong 2024 budget namin because sa GAB pa lamang ay nagdagdag ang House of Representatives ng 40 billion pesos. So, yung aming initial noon na NEP for 2024 na 40 billion, naging 80 billion sa GAB. Ano? But, unfortunately, noong napunta tayo sa Senate, medyo nagbawas po sila. No? And then, again, pasalamat naman ulit ako sa House kasi alam ko inilaban ninyo ito sa dito sa BICAM. Kaya nabalik po yung iba. Kaya po ang GAA level ng NIA for 2024 ay nasa 70 billion. So maraming salamat po. I'm sure itong ating mga programa ay na-implement natin. Kasama na doon yung ating pag-purchase ng mga bagong equipments, ng National Irrigation Administration para sa repair and restoration ng ating irrigation facilities. At hindi lamang po kami ang nagpapasalamat sa NIA, kung hindi yung aming mga Irrigators Association, At naramdaman daw nila na talagang yung magandang serbisyo ngayon ng ating gobyerno. So, napansin ko nandito, na-invite pala natin ninyo po yung presidente ng National Confederation for Irrigators Association, si Honorable Remy Albano, ay pwede naman matanong natin mamaya po. But anyway, ipagpatuloy ko lamang, yung ngayon, ang ating situation sa, next slide please. Na-explain ko na yun. Next slide po. Ito yung ating situation. Ang sinasabi ko po lagi na kung seryoso po tayo talaga, I think ang ating Pangulo, ito naman po ang priority, ang food security ang number 1 sa kanyang socio-economic agenda. Of course, kailangan natin ng mas mataas na budget para makumpleto po natin yung ating kailangan na 1.2 million hectares in around 10 years. Kailangan natin mag-invest ng around 220 billion per year. So again, pinapakita namin yung ating NEP, which is 42 billion. At again, this year, nagpapasalamat ulit kami sa House of Representatives kasi nakita namin yung HGAB ay dinagdagan nyo po ng 50 billion. So yung HGAB natin is naging 90 billion. So hinihintay pa po namin kung anong kinalabasan na naman sa BICAM. Dahil noong pumunta kami sa Senado, I think nabawas doon yung dinagdag ulit ng House of Representatives. Now, ang lagi kasing tanong dyan, ano ba ang absorptive capacity ng NIA? Bakit yun ang laging tinatanong I'm proud to report po sa inyo ngayon na ang obligation rate namin as of October of 2024 ay 88% na. Ang aming disbursement rate is around 50% at ang aming physical accomplishment is 53%. Kaya maganda po yung aming absorptive capacity kung yun po ang tanong. At kung next slide please. Pakibalik na lang. Isa pa. Sige pa, isa pa. Yan, tignan niyo po ito Nung ako po ay pumasok sa NIA, nagpagawa, kasi yung National Irrigation Master Plan pala ng NIA, na sinasabi niya na merong 3.2 million hectares potentially irrigable sa buong Pilipinas. Na-find out ko po na yun ay based pala sa 3% slope. So, paano naman yung nasa upland communities? Nawala po yun sa program ng NIA. So, gumawa po kami ng tinatawag naming Regional Irrigation Master Plan at kinonsider namin yung up to 30% slope. Kasi actually ito yung mga nagpo-produce ng mga high value crops may nakita po kami na around 920,000 hectares na on top of the 3.2 na pwede pa palang irrigate. Tandaan po natin, yung program na yan din ang nirequest namin sa Congress na mapunduhan, which is yung mga solar pump irrigation projects po natin, 920,000 hectares po yan. At tandaan natin, yung madali rin nating gawin na repair and restoration and augmentation ng patubig natin na 300,000 hectares, kung yan po sana ang mabigyan natin ng atensyon, madali po nating matapos yung 1.2 million hectares na potentially irrigable area pa natin. And again, nung ipaliwanag namin dito sa Kongreso ang aming programa, pinagbigyan po naman po kami at naramdaman po naman natin yung inyong suporta, sir. And ano ba ang, pwedeng yung last slide, pwedeng paki-forward lang. Isa pa, sige pa po. Sige pa po. Sige pa po. Isa pa. Yan. Itong mga sinasabi namin na solar pump irrigation projects natin, kapag i-implement po natin ito, para ma-grasp lang na natin, makaka-3 croppings kasi yung ating mga magsasaka At ang amin pong estimate dito, ang ROI lamang po natin dito ay around 3 years, 3 to 4 years, maka-ROI na po tayo. Mabilis nang gawin, madali pa yung ROI, so makakatulong talaga ito sa ating rice production and high-value crops production. So, kung meron po tayo dapat na short-term plan, ito na po yun. At saka yung ating mga additional na 1.2 million hectares, pwede naman nating patayuan ng mga high dams. Yan yung inaabot ng 3 to 5 years na construction. So, habang hinihintay natin ang ating mga high dams na matapos, at least meron po sana itong mabilisan po na sitwasyon natin. Kanina po, kausap ko ang ating former President, Gloria Arroyo, ma'am, Congressman Arroyo, ay napag-uusapan namin actually yung mga indigenous people, yung mga nasa upland communities na nabigyan namin at yung iba'y ongoing pa yung project namin, itong mga solar pump irrigation. So, makita po natin, yung project na ito ay hindi lamang siya para doon sa flatlands, kundi pati yung mga kapatid natin na nasa mga upland communities ay mabilisan po nating matutulungan at mabigyan ng atensyon sa ganitong mga programa. Pakibalik yung slide, please. Isa pa. One more time. Now, ano po ngayon ang ginagawa ng National Irrigation Administration nationwide para ho sa sustainable and inclusive na pag-angat ng kabuhayan ng ating mga magsasaka ayon doon sa utos ng ating Pangulo. Kasi ang gusto ng ating Presidente, pababain ang presyo ng bigas, pero at the same time, kailangan matulungan din yung ating mga magsasaka. Parang it's a tall order, ano po? Paano mo pababain ang presyo ng bigas na patulungan mo pa ang ating mga magsasaka? Ang ginawa po ng NIA rito, at kami nagtutulungan po ng DA, meron kaming Convergence Initiative Project, ay binubuo namin yung aming mga Irrigators Association into cooperatives per town. As of today, meron na po kaming nabuong 226 na mga cooperatives nationwide. Ayon sa aming Convergence, itong mga cooperatives na ito, ang priority ng PhilMec na bigyan ng farm equipments, lalong-lalo na po yung rice processing system, para ma-capture ng ating mga magsasaka, yung ating mga IAs, yung added value added ng rice production. At yung feedback ng ating mga magsasaka dahil dito ay napakaganda ng kanilang mga feedback. Ano po? At nakikita natin personally, pag umiikot tayo sa mga bayan-bayan, na nakakausap natin yung mga IAs natin, na malaki ang naitulong sa kanila. And at the same time, meron pong pinunduhan ng Kongreso rin ngayon sa tulong na rin ni Speaker Romualdez, yung contract farming natin ngayong taon na ito, ay naipakita po namin dito sa ating contract farming na pwede naman palang magbenta ng murang bigas nang may kita na ang ating mga magsasaka. In fact, ito po yung source ng BBM rice ng NIA, yung bagong bayaning magsasaka rice namin, na 29 pesos. Ipakita namin yung aming formula na ito'y sustainable naman pala. Ano po? Paki-atras po ng isang slide. Isa pa po. Ayan. Makita po natin na ang production cost lamang pala ng isang kilong bigas ay nasa 20 pesos at may kita ng ating mga farmers diyan na 50 pesos. Paki-forward yung slide. 2 slides, please. 2 slides. Isa pa po. Isa pa. Yan. Pakibalik. Ikaw na lang, no? Ikaw na lang. Pakibalik po. Pakibalik. Yan. Now, ito po ang pansinin ninyo. Ano yung effect kung meron tayong IAs, meron tayong cooperative per town? Imagine kung meron kang 1,000 hectares, which is napakaliit po yan, ano? 1,000 hectare per cluster. Meaning, meron kayong production na 10 million kilograms na palay in 2 croppings. Ano po? Sabihin na natin kalahati na lang ang magiging bigas. So 5 million kilograms na milled rice. Ano po? Kung 20 pesos ang production cost natin ng bigas, sabihin na natin ibenta pa ng cooperative ng 40 pesos, may added value na 20 pesos. That would mean around 100 million pesos ang makapture ng cooperative per year. Per year po yan, ano? At ang magkakaroon po yan ng multiplier effect kasi makapture ng mga IAs natin doon sa kanilang mga bayan. So, malaking tulong po yan sa local economy ng mga bayan. Now, yan po ang pinagtutuunan namin ng pansin ngayon. Yan po ang inuutos sa atin ng ating Pangulo. Meron po kaming convergence project with DA. Kasama po namin dyan ang PhilMec, kasama po namin dyan ang NFA, nandyan din po ang PhilRice, ano po. At sama-sama po kami na ito ay ini-implement sa pamumuno po ng ating Secretary Laurel. And almost weekly po ang meeting namin dito para masiguro po namin na maisakatuparan ito. Meron pa po kaming ginagawa ngayon na paraan para po mapa-increase naman natin yung ating cropping intensity. Ano po? Nilipat po namin. No, sinimulan na po namin. In fact, meron na po kaming around 350,000 hectares na for double cropping natin. Ano? Nilipat namin yung cropping calendar ng October, November para mag-ani po tayo ng March. And then, ng February, March magtatanim ulit po tayo, mag-aani ulit ng June, July. Ano ang kagandahan nito pagka nailipat natin yung ating cropping calendar? Ano po? Una, maiiwas natin sa bagyo, sa calamity ang ating mga magsasaka. Ano po? Pangalawa, pag inilipat mo kasi yung cropping calendar mo sa dry season, tataas ang cropping intensity, tataas din ang yield. Kasi alam naman natin lahat, pagka maaraw, mas mataas po ang yield. Ano po? At ang magiging immediate effect din nito sa National Irrigation Administration, kasi alam naman po natin yung mga malalaking dams natin ay meron niyang power generation. Ano po? Kung susundan mo yung regular cropping natin na nangyayari ngayon, magtatanim ka ng December, aani ng April, pagkaani ng April, ayaw nang mag-release ang NIA ng tubig. Dahil ang susunod na cropping mo na naman is June, July. Kung kailan summer at kailangan ng production ng kuryente, ayaw mag-release ang NIA ng tubig. So, ibig sabihin na to, pagka nilipat natin, yung mga malalaking dams natin ngayon, during summer, ay patuloy pa rin na nagre-release ng tubig at makakatulong din po ito sa power generation natin. So, malaki po ang impact actually ng programa ng NIA na ito sa paglipat ng cropping calendar. Hindi lang natin ini-increase yung ating cropping intensity, kundi yung yield ng ating mga magsasaka, and at the same time, yung power generation ng ating bansa. So, again, ulitin ko po ang malaking pasasalamat ng National Irrigation Administration sa Kongreso sa ibinibigay niyo po na tulong sa amin at sa pakikinig din sa hinaing ng ating mga magsasaka. Dahil for the first time in history ng 2024, ang laki po ng in-increase ng budget ng NIA. At pinakita nyo rin po ang support ninyo dito sa 2025 budget namin dahil ngayong NEP, dinoble nyo pa. So maraming salamat po. Kung may katanungan po kayo, naghanda po kaming sumagot. Thank you po.
Thank you. First, I would like to recognize our co-chair, co-chair for Trade and Industry, Congressman Ferdinand G. Biron, 4th District of Iloilo. You have opening comments. Congressman Arnan C. Panadigan of 1st District, Oriental Mindoro. And of course, my favorite, Congresswoman Ana Victoria Veloso Tuason of the 3rd District of Leyte. So, for continuity, may I now ask the Association of Irrigators for your presentation.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, Mr. Presiding Officer, and to all
Can you
of
go
us.
closer to the mic, sir?
Yes. Can you?
Paki-upload na, upload.
No, yup ko lang. Okay, so I just want only to introduce to you, for your information, the existence of the National Confederation of Irrigators Association as a partner of the government to attain food sufficiency in our country. And this is what we call a National Confederation of Irrigators Association. At nagpapasalamat kami dahil for your invitation to us to be a part of this committee hearing, for us to also to introduce our group as your partner. The National Confederation of Irrigators Association was registered last October 13, 1997 with the registration number of A1997-19312, composed of 11,807 primary IAs across the country. And this 11,807 IAs composed of 1.1 or 1,356,966 farmer members, tilling a coverage area of 1,705,239.17 hectares. And this Irrigators Association was federated into different levels. We have what we call we federated the 11,807 into a provincial federation of irrigators association. We have 81 provinces all over the country, and the Magat River Integrated Irrigation System and the Upper Pantabangan River Integrated System was considered as one provincial as per divided into divisions. So we have 91 provincial federation of irrigators association all over the country. And these 91 PFIAs, or the Provincial Federation of Irrigators Association, was federated into a 17 Regional Confederation of Irrigators Association. We call it confederation because the two categories of irrigation system in our country, the communal irrigation system and the national irrigation system, we combine it together to come up with the 17 Regional Confederation of Irrigators Association. And this 17 was federated into a National Confederation of Irrigators Association. This is now our association as partner of the National Irrigation Administration for their endeavor in attaining food sufficiency in our country. And as of now, we have organized already an irrigators municipal cooperative, 265 already registered cooperatives. Next, please. Our vision is the National Confederation of Irrigators Association must be the leading self-reliant national organization committed to uplift the quality of life of the Filipino irrigator farmers and their families nationwide. And to attain this vision, we have our mission to be a model farmers organization in achieving sustainable irrigation development and management, to develop coordinated support of all government institutions and non-government organizations to attain maximum food production, and to represent the interests of the irrigation farmers, and vigorously work with the policy-making bodies for their support to accelerate agricultural development. Then, purposes. Next, please. The purposes why NCIA was organized, we have 9 purposes. One is to represent the interests of the irrigators associations in policy-making bodies of the government, as well as national and international conferences and symposia and similar activities and undertakings. 2, to actively participate in the policy formulation and program planning to advance irrigation development in the country. 3, to enhance IA's participation in the planning and implementation of all improvement and rehabilitation works of all irrigation systems. 4, to serve as channel for the availment of technical and financial assistance as a forum to promote the growth and development of irrigators associations. And 5, to enter agreement with the government and non-government organizations relative to agricultural support and other services to enhance farm productivity. Then next, we have 6, to raise funds, receive dues, acquire, purchase, own and hold properties necessary to carry out its purposes. 7, to cooperate or affiliate with national and international organizations in promoting the interests and welfare of the irrigators associations. And 8, to manage, establish, operate, and maintain economic and livelihood activities and services for its members. And 9, last but not the least, to perform any other acts and to exercise other powers which may be necessary, convenient, and appropriate to accomplish the purposes for which the Confederation is organized. And now, the NCIA was established in 1997, as I have said a while ago, with a vision to lead a self-reliant national farmers organization committed to uplift the quality of life of the Filipino irrigator farmers' families nationwide. Fast facts dictates, however, that after its establishment in 1997, the NCIA failed to enlist the government to extend its full support to operate as one of the implementing arms of the Department of Agriculture. Short of reinforcement, NCIA flanked from delivering the services the farmers expected during the said era. That was before, however. Now, NCIA is faring well in its primordial function in instigating activities and programs that significantly and greatly transforming the lives of our irrigator farmer members, most especially so that President Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. is recognizing NCIA as an important role player in achieving lower cost of rice to consumers. Among the present thrusts of the association are as follows. We have to increase rice, corn, high-value crops, fish and livestock productions, and other agricultural products. We have also to improve marketing system. We have to establishment of cooperatives and establishment of livelihoods and sustainable operation and maintenance of irrigation systems. These are just some of the significant and important objectives of the NCIA that impacts the lives of irrigator farmer members of our country. Pasalamat tayo at nagtitiwala sa atin ang ating mahal na Pangulong Ferdinand Romualdez Marcos Jr. na kaya nating suportahan ang kanyang adhikain na mapababa ang presyo ng bigas sa merkado. May tiwala siya dahil tayo mismo ang nakakaharap at nakakausap ng ating mga magsasaka, magbubukid upang masabi at malaman natin ang kanilang hangarin at mga hinaing. Ang masasabi ko lang sa ating mahal na Pangulo, magtratrabaho ang buong NCIA at magbubukid para makamtan natin ang mababang presyo ng bigas ayon sa plano ng mahal na Pangulo. The establishment of cooperatives among the different NCIA associations will enhance the provision of subsidies and interventions from the government as this assistance will be coursed through them and that shall coincide with the farming time frame of respective different irrigators associations. On time na ang pagbibigay sa mga kailangan natin sa pagsasaka, bago magtanim, andyan na ang binhi at mga iba pang kailangan natin sa ating mga taniman. We are also supporting the thrust of the President to adopt mechanical and scientific systematic method of farming nationwide and gradually eliminating conventional scheme. If this is the way to increase our production of the said crops and other agricultural products, then we must have to accede to it. Our cooperatives shall be there to pave the way for us to adopt such farming scheme. Malaking tulong sa atin ang ating mga kooperatiba. Kaya pagyamanin natin ang mga ito at i-manage natin ng maigi dahil ito ang sasagot sa mga pangangailangan nating mga magbubukid, magsasaka sa ating lipunan. Magtulungan tayo para mapataas natin ang ating mga ani, mas mataas na ani, mas mataas na kita, mas mataas na kita, mas matiwasay na pamumuhay. Yan ang pangarap ng NCIA at adhikain naming magbubukid bilang gumagamit ng patubig. Dahil dito, kami po ang tunay na magsasaka na nagproproduce ng ating pagkain sa bansa. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much. The chair recognizes Congressman Salvador A. Plato, the 6th District of Bulacan. At this point, although we would have given prerogative to the former president, but she did not list for interpellation. So now may I recognize Congressman Wilter Palma.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm yielding my time to Madam Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. After that, I'll follow. Ma'am? Wave ka rin? Okay. May I proceed, Mr. Chair?
Yes, please do.
I was listening kanina sa presentation ni Administrator Gillian regarding the cooperatives. It's very, very good program. But the question that lies behind that is, paano natin ma-fundingan yung mga farmers? Kasi yung pinaka-importante ngayon is the credit facilities of our farmers from the day one until it's being harvested. You know, ang concern ko, yung credit facilities ng farmers so that middlemen will not be able to interfere in the Kasi with all due respect, sila yung kumikita ng malaki, Mr. Chair. So, may I ask, Mr. Chair, paano ba yung matulungan yung farmers through credit facilities na, while the cooperative is there, pero mas siguro, mas importante yung credit facilities na pwede nating maitulong sa mga farmers natin.
You want to ask that from NIA or from DA?
From NIA and from the DA,
Then okay, we'll give first the first crack to Administrator Gillian, and then of course Yusek Asis.
Yes, sir. Yes, Apo Congressman. Actually, ang pagkakalam, okay, with regards po dito sa pag-form po natin ng cooperative ng ating mga farmers, actually, katulong po namin dito yung CDA. Ano po. And of course, hiningi rin po natin ang tulong dito ng local government units. So, ang inuna po ng NIA na mag-form ng cooperatives ay kung saan yung mga local chief executives ay open dito sa idea. Kasi, you know, bilang dating former mayor, alam ko po kasi na may mga missing link, may mga gaps doon sa pag-form po ng cooperatives. Like, for example, bibigyan ko lang po kayo ng halimbawa. Pag nag-form ka ng cooperative, kailangan mo po dyan, of course, yung sa pag-organize. Kayang-kaya po ng munisipyo ito eh. At kapag nandun na yung cooperative, yung capacity building, yun po yung mahirap dyan. Kasi ang CDA, minsan, noong ako po ay mayor, kinakantsawan ko sila eh. Sabi ko, dapat palitan nyo ng pangalan kasi ang CDA lang, ang nakukuha lang namin noon was registration and regulation. Wala po yung development. Ano? And noong ako po ay mag-hire ng co-op manager namin, nahirapan din po ako. Na-realize ko na wala pala tayo kasing wala tayong course ng cooperative development and management sa ating mga eskwelahan. So, ang kailangan mo dyan sa LGU, sa atin po noon, nag-form ako ng public-private partnership with the co-op para po nag-form din ako ng Municipal Economic Enterprise Management Office namin para kami na ho nag-hire ng former manager ng bangko, former manager ng co-op to oversee yung formation ng aming cooperative. So marami pong factors eh. Yun na lang lote na pagtatayuan ng mga buildings, yung dati nung mayor po ako, kailangan pa ng mga ng share ng co-op pagbibigyan mo ng farm machineries. But anyway, pagdating po sa pautang sa ating mga farmers, yan po ang reason kung bakit kami nag-form ng cooperative, knowing na kung may pera ang cooperative, sila po ang magpapautang sa ating mga farmers. And I'm sure, Land Bank, merong murang pautang sa mga cooperatives, ang DA, may programa po dyan. Mahirap po kasi yung mga bangko na magpautang sa individual dahil matrabaho po na singilin nila yon eh. So ang ginawa ko po nun sa aking munisipyo, of course, at ginaid ko yung ating cooperative at mga IAs. Kaya po, napakaganda pong i-form yung ating mga irrigators association into cooperatives kasi nandun na eh, trained na po sila as na cooperative eh. Nilalakihan mo lang para magkaroon ng economies of scale production. Modesty aside, yun pong ginawa namin noon sa bayan namin ay pinag-aralan po ng University of the Philippines, UPCIDS. Naglabas nga po sila ng policy blog. Sabi nila, yung PDG Ilocos Norte Model for Resilient Agri-Institutions. So, itong ibang cooperatives, IAs po kasi, panahon pa ng Kastila yan eh. Katulad po sa amin, Sanjera de Sociedad, mga ganun pa yung mga pangalan eh. So, kung alam lamang po natin na i-capture, alam natin i-maximize yung pagsasamahan na ng ating mga irrigators association and then we form them as a cooperatives. Kasi ang IAs po is non-profit organization yan eh. Hindi po sila, wala po silang resibo pag nakipag-deal ka sa kanila. So yun po ang kagandahan pag cooperative na sila, yan, nakakapag-negosyo na po sila, sir. At may economies of scale production. Yeah, I think ang pag-form ng cooperative po ay solusyon din sa pagpapautang na sinasabi nyo kanina. Kasi kung meron silang, ang idea po kasi dyan is gawin mo silang isang service,
Magkano?
fast, ano ba yung tawag doon?
Default price payment.
Yung meron silang, ang gagawin mo kasi dyan is ano kumpleto po sila. May pautang, may parental ng equipments, may gilingan. So, para po may sustainability. At ang naisip po namin noon, kasi ang lagi pong tanong dyan, meron bang sustainability pagka co-ops? Sa akin po meron, dahil meron silang sariling board of directors na kung yung mayor ayaw nang tumulong doon sa cooperatives, nakakatayo pa rin sila sa sarili nilang paa. So we just need to empower them. You know, ang pag-form ng cooperative sa akin is a form of empowerment po sa ating mga magsasaka. Salamat po.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, before
Yes.
the DA, very good yung concept, Administrator Gillian, ano? As a matter of fact, when I was still in the local government unit, yun din yung programa ko. Nagpautang kami ng 20,000 pesos per hectare per farmer at zero interest. Ngayon, how do you, through the cooperative, okay? So paano yung services na na-render ng cooperative? Ang ginawa ko, I requested the cooperative as well as the farmers na yung inputs nila, bibilhin nila from the cooperative. Organic fertilizer and organic pesticides. Doon sila kikita yung cooperative. Okay? The rate, I started with the first year, I started with 6 million, and then I increased to 15, 20, hanggang 30. And after that, I left. And it was the yield, the payment, the return of investment, or yung, anong tawag yung, the payment is more or less 95%. Nagkaroon na kami ng problema yung nagkaroon ng drought, no? Kasi kulang yung irrigation natin, yung supply ng water, that's in Zamboanga, Sibugay. So I started that, and I'm so happy that Administrator Gillian is pushing that. So may suggestion siguro, per municipality, mag-create tayo ng cooperative, focus on the rice farming and high value crops. Now, Mr. Chair, if we can also ask
Sino nagsusubscribe?
the counterpart, probably the Land Bank or DBP, kasi out of their mandate, parang 30% ata is allocated for agriculture, kasama ng pautang. So with the help of this committee, and we can push for that. And that's a very good approach in order for to help our farmers in the production of rice as well as the high value crops. So I'm very happy, Mr. Chair, with that scheme that NIA is pushing for in order to help our farmers.
Thank you. VG Asis? No, VG Albano. You said there's only 12,000 primary IAs.
Yes, sir.
So that means on the average, they have 1,700 hectares?
Per IA. But depending upon the size of the system, sir.
170 pala? Tama ba calculation ko? 1.7 million hectares divided by 11,000. Ilan ba yan?
Yes, the land holding now at present is 1 hectare per farmer, sir.
Kaya nga, pero ilan? So, Gillian, ano ba yung mga farmers natin? Are they under-organized, over-organized, or what?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Actually po, ang Irrigators Association ng under NIA, napakaganda po ng organization nila.
Ilan sila?
Around
11,000.
ang members, sir?
No. How many are they?
Ang regional IAs are 17 po lahat. Ang organized IA, 17 regionals po. May dalawa kasi sila na kuha itong UPRIS at
Oh,
Maris.
yeah, MRIS. Tapos,
Opo. So, as of January last year, ang data po namin, nasa 1.3 million yung membership po ng IAs under NIA.
pero ilang IAs ba talaga?
Ilang IAs? 11,800 individual IAs po.
So parehas, nag-uusap kayong dalawa. Pero alam mo, when I was governor, yung secret of success ng mga IAs ko is the IDOs.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, that's the best well-kept secret of good IAs. In fact, most of my leaders are your IDOs. They are a well-trained cadre. Most of them, I think, are in fact NDFs. Anyway, so anyway, we have further
Mr. Chair,
questions. Sir?
Yeah, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, if I may add, ang NIA po kasi, kapag nag-construct ng irrigation facility, kasabay po yan yung pagbuo namin ng IAs na kasama namin mag-maintain and mag-operate ng irrigation facility. Kaya hindi lamang po yung construction ang ginagawa ng NIA, but also yung pag-organize ng farmers para pag natapos namin yung project, ita-turn over namin sa kanila. Kasama po namin sila sa maintenance and operation.
Can you submit to this committee your IDO development program?
Yeah, yung meron po kasi Institutional Development Division ang NIA where the
I know.
IDOs are ano po.
They are your best well-kept secret, and I think
Yes,
that's-
opo.
So, pero wala ako nakita sa presentation yun na your IDOs are your crown jewels.
Actually, sila po yung aming talagang sa groundwork, especially po nitong contract farming namin, mga IDOs po
Pasubmit
talaga.
na lang
ano
po
so-
para we don't have to, because may question pa yata si Yes, sir? You have questions?
Mr. Chair, during
Can
the
I
last...
ask Asis what
Before Yusek Asis Perez, during the last Quadcom hearing, I requested the Department of Agriculture, ano bang pwedeng credit facilities na may program natin para makatulong tayo sa farmers. And one of these is this cooperative na na-mention ni Administrator Gillian. So, can you further, ano bang request ko na sabi ko, pwede ba natin itap yung League of Provinces, League of Municipalities, League of Cities na makatulong to facilitate and fast track because, kung idaan natin sa banks and individual yung magpupunta ng banks, I don't think it will succeed because hanapan pa lang ng two valid government IDs, wala na, hindi na makapag-produce. So, cooperative is one of the solutions there. So, may I therefore ask, Mr. Chair,
Okay.
ano bang update ng request ko?
Sa tingin ko, policy na yata dapat ng DA yan. Ano ba ang posture nyo with respect to agricultural cooperatives? Yes.
Mr. Chair, I agree with both Administrator Gillian and of course...
May ginagawa ba kayo for them?
Sir, may attempt po kami to bring back and institutionalize again the institutional development officers in the A. Because we understand that this is a key component
Oo nga.
for a successful cooperative-based program that involves lending and clustering. Unfortunately, if you're aware that the Bureau of Agricultural Cooperatives was taken out of the A. Nawala po yun eh. But ang attempt namin right now is to put together...
Sino tumanggal?
Nung nag-CDA po eh, natanggal po sa amin yung Bureau of Agricultural Cooperatives. Kasi
Kailan mag-create ng CDA?
nawala po yun sa Department of Agriculture. But conceptually correct, but operationally we need people to be able to implement those programs. Kasi kailangan ho noon talagang ground presence.
Pero DA sits in the board of Land Bank?
We sit at the board of Land Bank. I'm the alternate chair of the secretary.
Does the NIA sit in the board of Land Bank? Huh? 1990 pala, this Mitra time pa, nung tinanggal sa inyo yung cooperative.
Yes, sir.
One of the largest bank of Thailand is the Bank of Agriculture and Agriculture Cooperatives. It provides almost $41 billion of loans, and the only intervention of the government is a 1% default risk premium. and NPL is only 7.5%. So I don't know whether we should follow the same track, because that is the secret why the whole value chain from, you know, including the one town, one product. In fact, it's one village, one product is being financed through this entire ano. So, sa tingin ko, agriculture is one of the most well-deprived, it's very deprived of credit, I think. So it's been relying on government alone. But if it subject it to the discipline of the market forces, I think, anyway, I'm not supposed to answer your question.
Yeah.
Do you have further questions, sir?
What is the development as far as the LMP, LPP, and the League of City Mayors? Did you start coordinating with each other na? Para we can also ask the help of Director Guillen para we can fast track that.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, if I may respond. During the time of the meeting, the representative of the League of Province was present, and we started our coordination since then. We just want to inform the Chair as well that we have printed both the programs of Land Bank and DBP right now. Yun pong Agrisenso ng Land Bank at saka po yung Agri-Puhunan Pantawid ng DBP, which will be submitting to the floor, to the Secretariat for consideration of the members. Medyo lengthy po kasi mahaba po siya. So we'll be submitting that, and we agree that these programs are bank-based programs, nakabase po sa programa ng bangko. But the way that this should be developed further is to really institutionalize yung sinasabi nating institutional development officer, na key po yun sa tingin namin. And yun po ang tutok namin ngayon. On a ad hoc capacity, the department has initiated the creation of a unit to somehow mimic this cooperative development officers that we have before, para po dun sa clustering, and then of course capacity building po ng mga kooperatiba. Because sad to say, we don't have them right now, and even pagdating po dun sa development ng kooperatiba, ito po ay mandato ng Cooperative Development Authority. But we are now doing coordination with them, although hindi pa po ito laganap.
In that case, Mr. Chair, we can ask the help of Director Guillen and of course the CDA, Cooperative Development Authority, kasi kailangan din yung concerted efforts ng players as far as rice and high-value crop is concerned. So, Director Guillen, are we willing to, or are you willing to help the DA as well as the CDA? I-request na lang natin yung CDA to help in the formulation of this policy para we can call up Land Bank as well as DBP to fast track this, kasi pag walang credit facilities, useless pa rin ang pinag-usapan natin, kasi even to start in the day one of the rice production, kailangan na ng pera. So, yeah.
Sir, Mr. Chair, actually, tama po kayo, Congressman Palmay. Actually, yung capitalization ng co-op angki dyan. Kaya nung binuo ko po yung co-op namin, ako po yung mayor, ang una ko pong in-access, sabi ko yung, wala tayong kapital eh. Hindi ko naman basta pwedeng bigyan ng kapital yung co-op. Ang una ko pong in-access dyan, nilakad ko po yung sa AGFP. Yung, alam ko may Agricultural Guarantee Fund pool eh. Talagang nangungulit po ako doon sa Land Bank na i-access namin ng AGFP. But to no avail. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit hindi ko ma-access. So, ang sumunod ko po na option is that, okay, kung ayaw niyong pautangan yung aking cooperative, pwede ko ba na magamit yung aking 20% sa LGU as guarantee ng pautang? Kasi at least kung magamit ko yung 20% ko as guarantee, hindi pa rin kami magpapalabas ng pera. At malakas po ang loob ko, sir, na magpautang sa ating mga cooperative na ang members, ang IAs, kasi alam ko na ang repayment niyan ay 99.9%. Kasi po, kapag ang nag-guarantee ay IA, sila po ang may rights doon sa water rights eh. Hindi pwedeng hindi magbayad yung member. Kasi in fact, yung IA mismo, may pera na siya para bayaran yung utang. Ang kilamang dyan, paano mo mapautangan yung co-op? So kailangan mong i-involve talaga ang LGU. Itap mo lang yung 20% ng LGU as guarantee. Payagan lamang natin. Solve ang problema natin. Kasi masama pong magpautang ang gobyerno. Ang isip ng tao, dole out. Pero kung bangko, magbabayad. So, ang sistema dapat dyan, bangko, cooperative, para ang sinisigil ni bangko yung co-op, kukaunti yung si co-op, ang sinisigil niya si IA. Si IA ang maningil sa individual farmer. Pag ganun po, ay takbo negosyo tayo, napakadali po Sara yon. Pero napakahirap kausap ang land bank, hindi ko po na-access ang land bank eh. So, hindi ko maintindihan kung gusto ba talagang magpautang o hindi. May AGFP tayo. Hindi ko lang alam kung ano nangyari sa AGFP. Yung mayor, gusto rin tumulong dyan. Wala ka pang capitalization kung yung 20% ang i-access mo. Underuse yung 20% ng LGUs eh. Kukonti ang LGU na may utang. Dito mo pa utangan ngayon. Di ba? So,
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir,
since
last
we're-
question.
Yeah, last question. Since we are on a Christmas break, siguro may just request this committee na i-request yung Land Bank, DBP, isali natin sa, ano bang tawag natin dyan, to be headed by the Department of Agriculture. Kung hindi sila pwede mag-request, then direct them para to compel them. Kasi yung sabi ni Admin Gillian, mahirap ang kausapin yung Land Bank eh.
Comsec, you're instructed to invite DBP, Land Bank, and the BSP, the regulatory arm, with respect to compliance to the new law, the AFRD.
Secretariat will comply, Chair.
Thank you. Now may I call on Congressman Cruz. Well, we have a lot of farmers, of course.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I share the sentiment of Congressman Wilter Palma. Pareho din ako eh, kasi mayor din ako dati for 18 years. So, doon sa amin, ang ginawa ko, yung mga nag-consolidate ako ng 100 hektarya, binigyan ko ng lahat ng inputs kasi nga parating pinoproblema, inuutang, tapos halos 5-6 ang interest. So, binigyan ko lahat ng inputs. Ang nagiging problema nito, nung ani na, ayaw magbayad kasi galing nga sa gobyerno. So, I think ang kailangan natin dito is basically discipline. Kailangan talaga, ang Pilipino binabantayan. Merong nagbabaston. So, napaganda, very laudable to, kasi patagal ko na ho itong advocacy. Dahil totoo, yung land reform, yun ho nakasira actually. Hindi ko alam kung nakatulong ito sa ating magsasaka. Pero nahati ang lupa natin dito, mga 1 hectare to 2 hectares. So we lost the economies of scale. Yun ang problema. Now with the cooperative that we have, tapos meron pa tayong concept ng contract farming, probably this will solve lahat ng problema natin dito sa ating sa agrikultura. Kasi problema natin, parating minamention yung cooperative, yung successes ng Korea, ng Vietnam, ng Thailand, basically cooperative ito. Production cost nila is about ranging from 8 to 9 pesos per kilo, whereas sa atin, we're ranging from almost 14 to 16 pesos per kilo ng palay. Kaya kailangan ibenta natin yung palay natin ng 20 to 25. Pag binenta natin ng 25 yan, sigurado, 50 pesos talaga yung ating bigas. So ang kailangan is to lower the cost of production. Itong RTL natin, ito napakagandang ginawa natin. Ang mahalaga lamang dito, yung farm mechanization, irrigation, which is yung project ninyo, and of course, yung better seeds. At saka marami pang inputs, kasama na yung training. Pero ang mahalaga, mabuo muna yung kooperatiba. So tama si Kong Wilter, ang kailangan ma-involve dito yung LGU. Kasi kailangan, yung kooperatiba, sa totoo lang, kailangan din binabantayan. at ang magbabantay dito yung LGU. But ang mahalaga rito yung roadmap natin for the entire country. By region siguro, identify na natin. Ano ba yung irrigation na 1.2 million yung ating project? Saan region ito? Para naka-involve lahat ng LGU. At yung regional director nyo, dapat naka-target base tayo eh. Halimbawa, ito ba yung target na sa irrigation? Ito yung target sa mechanization. Kasi nakakatuwa yung solar nyo, pero marami nagre-reklamo. Nabigay daw, hindi raw nabigay doon sa right person. Kasi marami kaming naririnig na problemang ganon. So apparently, hindi tayo talaga organized. So mas mahalaga, organize natin ito by region, target base natin ito, at siguro mas maganda mag-launch kayo ng contest. Mahilig din lang ang Pilipino sa contest. So ibig sabihin, ito yung target mo, ito yung performance mo. Pagka, yun ang bigyan natin ng parangal taon-taon. Para yung lahat ng mga high-performing regions and high-performing LGUs will be rewarded and recognized. Hindi, ang mahalaga rito, talagang yung contest itself, kailangan pinakita natin yung contest at saka talagang maganda yung premyo para at the end of the day, they will be recognized. Pero ang maliwanag ko rito, by region, maliwanag yung target. Ilan ang dapat ma-irrigate doon sa 1.2 million? Saan pupunta yung project na to? Kasi pinagkakagulan yan. Saan ba mapupunta yung project na yan? Marami rin nakikialam. But at the end of the day, it should be identified. So, siguro, yun ang kailangan natin, yung the entire roadmap para dito sa creation ng cooperative and of course, the new concept of contract farming, which is, nakita ko rito, napakaganda nga, very applicable. Yun lang, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, short interjection. Balikan ko lang yung statement kanina ni Administrator Gillian. Classmate, magandang umaga po. So, classmate kami sa Masteral. Anyway, I think wag na tayo lumayo. We learned from the Thailand model. So, they put so much money on irrigation. And number two, government of Thailand, during the time of Thaksin, binuhusan nila yung credit institutions nila, no? And they have been very successful. So ang problema sa atin, walang access to credit ang ating mga farmers. And since it is not even allowed to use land for collateral, mas lalong nahirapan yung mga farmers natin. And it's a fact that landowners do not necessarily till the land. Pinaparkilahan nila yon. So yung mga lessees ng lupa, they don't own land. So pero may solusyon yan eh. Hindi mo naman kailangan may collateral pag umutang ka sa bangko because this could be guaranteed by TRs or trust receipts. And that is a model in Thailand. Kasi ang TR, may wala apart from civil liability, may criminal liability pag hindi ka magbayad no? So all you need to do is educate the farmers, no, na pag hindi ka magbayad, estafa ka, no, kasi wala kang collateral So unless government would institutionalize access to credit, walang mangyari sa mga pobre nating mga farmers. So of course, government's initiative would include really, irrigating land. Yun nga sinabi ni Secretary Tio Laurel na nandito siya, that perhaps with the budget given by government to NIA, sa inyo po, Administrator, it would take 10 years for us to irrigate, the land that are eligible or qualified for irrigation. But siguro makinig naman ng Presidente sa atin that if we could shorten that gestation, we could attain the ideal production or yield, which is 8 tons per hectare. Unless na, ma-attain natin yung 3 croppings, it would be very impossible for us to reach the ideal cost, production cost of 8 pesos per kilo. So, yun lang, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. May I recognize the former president?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congressman Biron mentioned one of the problems, which is that the farmers cannot, the beneficiaries of land reform cannot use their land for collateral. Since I was president, I was always working for this bill. In fact, when I was president, it already reached the bicameral conference committee, but my then Secretary of DAR, Rene Villa, who later became one of the highest 10, said that DAR is not pushing for it. So it kind of, I mean, there were other priorities in the legislative calendar, so it didn't, it stopped there. So when I became a congresswoman, I filed the bill again. The DAR Secretary De Los Reyes again opposed it in the committee hearing, so it did not pass again. But you see, now many years after, it's still a problem. So since this is since all our inquiries are supposed to be inquiries in aid of legislation, I think this discussion again shows that that kind of legislation is really important. So can we request that when this committee gives its committee report, it will include a committee bill to reintroduce the legislation that we've been working for all these decades. Thank you.
Thank you. Siyempre,
I also want to thank you as chairman of the Committee on Ways and Means because of your respect for inquiries in aid of legislation. Because I remember that I filed a resolution to inquire on why the Clark exporters, the Clark allocators were not, by the IRR, had a removal of their incentives. After which you worked on the Create More, which is the legislation resulting from that inquiry. So thank you, Mr. Chair, for your record of really bringing inquiries to legislation. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair,
Mon.
yeah,
Yes,
very short
Congressman.
interjection in relation to the statement of former President. Hindi lang na magkaroon ng credit access, no, using the land as collateral, but we have to make sure that the credit facility is affordable. Kasi ang problema ngayon sa land bank, ang spread ng land bank is much higher than the spread of commercial banks. So instead na buhayin yung farmers, pinapatay ni land bank at ni DBP ang mga farmers kung meron man silang pagkakataon na to access credit. Pero sa ngayon, talagang problema natin because hindi siya na institutionalized despite credit being included in the charter of these government credit institutions. Talagang walang access, practically walang access. In Thailand, the cost of borrowing for farmers, exclusively for farmers, is less than 3%. Yusek Asis, namamatay yung mga farmers natin because what? What is the borrowing rate of land bank right now? It's 8.9%. Whereas commercial and universal banks like BDO will only lend you at a rate of 5.5%. So anong tulong ng gobyerno sa mga farmers? Wala. Pinapatay ng land bank at DBP yung mga farmers natin and micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Now may I recognize the star of Congress, Estela Kimbo. May I recognize Asis? Okay lang sa'yo? Yes.
For the information of the chair and the
Yes,
members of
please.
the body, to be fair with Land Bank and DBP, the new programs that they have with us, yun pong bago lang ito, Mr. Chair, no? Yun pong sa agri-puhunan natin is 2% for DBP per annum po, at yun po namang sa Land Bank ay 4% po.
Ilan?
4% po.
For eligible borrowers.
pwede pong basahin namin yung programa. Medyo
Okay,
mahaba
basa-
po siya, but...
Okay lang, basahin nyo na.
Sir, thank you, Mr. Chair. For the agri-puhunan, ito po yung pinaka parang proof of concept or pilot project ni Secretary with DBP, PCIC, NIA as IAs cooperatives po yung prioritize dito. It's a 50,000 hectare project worth 3 billion. They call it Agri-Puhunan at Pantawid Program. It's a 60,000 credit to beneficiaries that are RSBSA registered and members of DA accredited cooperative. So 60,000 per farmer per hectare. Portion of this is for inputs, 28,000, maximum of 28,000 pesos per hectare. Kasi katulad po ng sinabi kanina, na isang way to reduce yung production cost is increasing yield. Ang nakita po kasi namin na talagang problema ng mga farmers, on the average, hindi makabili ng inputs. Aside doon sa binibigay ng DA na isang bag ng seeds o binhi at 2 bags ng fertilizer, the rest hindi na nagdadagdag ng additional inputs to meet yung maximum yield na kaya ng isang binhi, which we think ang kulang nila is yung kapital. So that's why na-conceptualize po itong programa. It's yung other 28,000 is for inputs, yung 32,000 is an 8,000 per month na pantawid as part of the credit na 4 months ibibigay doon sa mga farmer beneficiaries kung habang nag-iintay nung kanilang ani. And assured po to ng benta kasi kasama po namin dito ang NFA. I think they will sell it to NFA at 21 pesos fresh at a maximum of 5 metric tons per hectare. So, kung tutusin, kung 2% per annum siya sa isang cropping which is 4 months, parang 1% lang siya, kung 60,000, 600 pesos lang yung interest na babayaran ng
Okay
farmer.
lang ba sa'yo? Gillian, paras lang ba kayo?
Yes.
Are you on the same page or is it the same program?
Yes po.
Yeah, part po, actually po, Mr. Chair, is ang beneficiaries sa yung mga IAs
Or
natin.
are they competing packages?
No, no. Hindi po.
Okay, thank you. Baron? And then Kimbo na.
Mr. Chair, Yusek, you're talking the pilot project covers only 50,000 hectares. That will not make any dent at
Yes
all.
sir, because ang binigay na budget pa lang ng DPP on this is 3 billion. So if it's 60,000 per hectare, maximum of 50,000. But the plan is pag nag-okay siya, is to request for a maximum of 1.2 million farmers ang ma-reach ng program by next year
Yeah.
or the 2020. Kasi talagang
50,000 hectares constitute only what? How many percent of the rice production area?
50 times
Napakaliit.
divided by 2 million. Maliit lang sir.
Yes, so small. So it doesn't make any dent at all no,
Yes,
sa
sir.
presyo ng ano natin. And very vital to the success of this pilot program is the repayment. Ano yung repayment ninyo? Kasi pag iipitin mo yung si farmer, no, na wala siyang comfortable time to make repayment, the program is bound to fail.
Sir, this season pa lang kasi siya nag-start. So hindi
Pero
pa
ang
namin
program
sabi.
ninyo, what is your repayment scheme? Anong ano nyo? I mean, you know, lending this, is it per cycle?
Yes sir. Pagka nakapagbenta na sila with NFA sa kalap.
Babayaran nila agad.
Yes sir, through IMC card kasi ito sir eh. So automatic na yun, may MOA sila with NFA and DBP. Once mag-sell sila ang cooperative to NFA,
All right.
automatic na yun na
So kinakaltas na.
Yes sir.
So meaning to say
yun yung plan,
NFA.
yun yung plan.
Okay,
sir.
so NFA is the collecting agent. So bawas na rin
Through the
yung-
cooperative, sir.
Through the
Yes.
cooperative.
Yes, sir.
Bawas na rin yung interest nila. The
Yes, sir.
cost
Yung-
of borrowing is kaltas doon sa proceeds nila.
Yes,
Ganon
sir.
ba?
Yes sir.
All right. Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anong guarantee mo against leapfrog